on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if you're me, lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions. We'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way.
Makes me happy every time I hear it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the kitchen. Some familiar faces. A couple. Oh, here comes Fantastic. Let's real quick say hi to everyone. First of all, I want to say hi to my friend Andy. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mr. David, I'm doing excellent.
Your daughter, I think, just had a birthday not too long ago, right?
My son did.
Oh, your son. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right.
What is he, like 17, 18 now?
He's 18, so
oh
yeah,
my gosh.
Getting up there.
It's so exciting. Wish him happy birthday from the kitchen.
I will.
That's
I
awesome.
will.
Awesome. Peter, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you, sir. I'm going to make a comment that you of all people will appreciate when you talk about patience. Let's just see, I grew up in a household with a Jewish mother and a Catholic father. So I had both types of guilt going at me all the times.
That's the best. Hasmuk, I heard you in the pre-show, and I was thinking about you ever since you told me about the session tonight at 5 o'clock my time. I was thinking about you and how it's got to be like 3 in the morning for you. Um,
11.
11, and they're not recording it, and I feel terrible about that. But
Yeah, it's what can you do?
it is what it is. Yeah. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you are watching, there is a special session at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific today with the Zoom team, with Andy Carluccio, Jonathan Cocotayo, and a couple more, I think, developers from their team. They're going to be joining Alex Lindsay in a special room in Zoom, talking about the graphics toolkit. So if you want more information about that, head on over to officehours.global/Zoom Lab, officehours.global/Zoom Lab, and
The Emmy.
and what did you want?
Their
Do you want to
Emmy.
say? They're what?
Celebrating their Emmy.
And they are freaking Emmy winners. I wrote Andy after I heard, and I said to him, and this is God's honest truth, I ran home to my wife and I said, I know an Emmy winner. I know an Emmy winner. I was so excited for them. I mean, and what they've done for it continues to boggle my mind that, I'll just speak for myself, that me as a peon knows someone who's made such an impact on the world. It really is. I just love it. And I'm so happy for them. And it's just amazing. Really amazing. And Jonathan and Andy are both named in it, along with oh goodness, I just blanked on his name, with the B, the CTO, Chief Tech,
Brendan.
Yeah.
Brendan.
Sorry, Brendan Idelson. Right. Sorry. I knew it was a B, Brendan. I apologize. Who else is here? Ray Franklin. How you doing, sir?
Well, not too far from you. I am a Emmy Award winner from my days at Channel 7 in Miami.
Wait, are you really?
Got 2 local Emmys.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
It pales in existence, and it was in 1971.
Who cares? I take it. I love that. That's amazing, right? Wow. All right.
Back when it was WCKT, it's now WSVN, I think, Channel 7 in Miami.
Nice.
Good old days. They all
Robert,
brought-
I wonder, does Robert have any Emmys?
I don't have any Emmys. I'm still trying to figure out. I've just connected an Ivy, and I'm trying to figure out how.
There you go. We can see you now. So are you now calling in from an Ivy?
Yes, I am on an Ivy at the moment, and I'm using the mics, and the sound I know is good. So,
So one of the interesting things is there's quite a glare in your glasses.
Uh-huh.
Ray, any
turn
thoughts?
off, yeah, turn off the top light.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the top light is.
Just run your hand underneath the surface, and it'll change the light from the top to the bottom. There you go.
There we go. Thank you. That was
wow.
quick and easy.
Yeah.
Have you heard you test things before you go live?
No,
what
I haven't gone live yet. I've just come and joined the Zoom test kitchen where we test things.
Pretty live to me.
It also looks like it's focused on the books behind you a little bit, maybe.
I haven't got the focus right, and
Yeah.
I haven't got the framing right yet. So I'm still working on that.
Framing's not terrible, but it does look to me, but maybe my eyes are off, that the focus is on something behind you rather than you. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, it's a little soft, David, is what you're.
Yeah.
It takes a little practice.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. This
See,
is the
Ray-
first time. This is the first. It hasn't even run for an hour yet. So
And Hazmat hasn't showed his off because he's loaded out to people.
Now, Ray, are you on one right now? I know there's one behind you, but are you also on one or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. So you've got, okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, we have lots of them if you want a few.
What is that one behind you hooked up to? What computer though?
It's a MacBook Pro, a MacBook.
Oh, I
Air.
see. There you go.
The concept is just show it's just one cable.
Sure.
Everything, the brains and everything else are in the laptop. This is really just a camera monitor and a display, along with this is a Harman Kardon sound system.
Right.
Right in the leading edge here, if you give me just 2 seconds of permission, there's 4 near field microphones. So it was designed by a world famous ophthalmologist. It'd shoot me. Because the proximity you are to the device is ergonomically designed, so both the camera, the lens, the mirror, everything is all in one package. And it gives you that sense of intimacy that you don't if you've got a webcam or you've got a big teleprompter, because the big teleprompter, your eyes tend to wander. So this is primarily just for eye contact to the people that you're talking to, one-to-one or one-to-many, as Robert is. And pretty proud of your picture for the first 20 minutes of your Ivy, even though he's had it for a couple of weeks.
I must
Robert.
admit that I've had it for a couple of weeks, and I pulled it out at exactly 45 minutes before the start of this Zoom test kitchen. Because this is the place we test things.
Well, that's good. Thank you for that.
But it also shows the simplicity. It doesn't take that much to get it up and running, to get, at least to this level.
Can you, what's the camera in there?
It's a Sony 4K camera chip. And it's
Oh,
custom.
it's not a camera. They built a camera for this.
Yeah, no, it's actually, I don't know if I can, but this is I don't have the graphics hooked up, but there's a circuit board, and mounted on the circuit board is the camera and the lens. So it's all in one piece, and that's the beauty of it. He developed it at the early stages of COVID because he was a professor and giving lectures and recording them to a webcam. And it's hard to be consistent. I mean, I teach people how to deal with a webcam if that's what you have to deal with. But this is so much easier. So it started cardboard. Then he bought a CNC machine for his basement, and he cut it out of plywood, built the patent. He's got a number of patents on it, not the least of which is you can tell you can't see the camera hidden behind it. A lot of these teleprompters, right, you can see the camera and it's distracting. You can't see it because there's a patented surface on the back. Dr. Garrett invented the lenses that are in my eye. If you have cataract surgery and you get replaced, his patent is on those lenses.
Wow.
He's also developed the software that Zeiss uses to measure where to cut when you're having using their very expensive equipment to decide on where to cut to remove the cataracts. He's a brilliant guy.
And does the top fold down?
Yes.
It does. That's what I figured. Oh, that folds up actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so in the case of medical, if you're on a call and then you're done, you want to be able to make sure the camera and the microphone's turned off. So when you close that, then you're not broadcasting anything. That's the key difference.
And one other question. So I don't mean for this to turn into the Ivy show, but so when you plug it in, it just shows up as an additional monitor.
That's correct.
Do you find that people struggle to drag the right screen over or things like that?
It's amazing the people who've been using their laptops, and Tamara's laughing because she deals with these people all the time. And I know you love these people, Tamara.
I do.
But they require so much attention because they don't know. The other thing that's unique is that when you've got a prompter device like the Ivy, you want to be able to have, when you're on Zoom, which is beautiful, you want to be able to have, instead of mirror, you want to have extended.
Right.
So that you have the dedicated here and then, right. And I have 6 screens. So I'm able to do that. But when I'm switching to a Teams or a Google Meet, I have to switch back to the mirror because I don't want to be reading. This is a small screen. It's 10.5 inches. It's perfect for this purpose, but I don't want to have to read things up there. And part of the training is, well, when you're sharing a screen, you're sharing what's over here. So look at it, which is what everybody else is doing. So there is some training involved in that, and people just don't get it. But that's
David,
know how
what I
to
do.
zoom in.
if I can just throw my 2 cents in it, I have lost about half the cables that were on my desk.
Because you're using just this.
It's just it's a power cord and one USB-C cable.
Yeah. Did you figure out how to zoom in, Robert?
No, I haven't figured out how to zoom in. I've actually pushed it through OBS just to get the zoom.
There's software, and you need to open the software and go through that lesson, and I'm happy to help you with that. Somebody I know is going to create a video that explained all this, and he's been very busy.
Very cool.
Well,
Wait, cameras.
Robert said it's quite simple to set up. Yes, but I don't know about the doctors in Cape Town. So.
They struggled with it. Yeah.
Well, they struggle with all technology. What Hasmir helps people, and his
That's why they have a
papers
Hasmik.
just amazing, just amazing. You should have him as a guest once and explain it to what he's doing. He's doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
I had a call the other day with someone actually from Ecamm, who he said Zoom isn't picking up the mic from Ecamm. It's just, it won't work. So I hopped on a call with him. This was the best call I've ever had, because I got him to share his screen, and I immediately saw that his microphone in Ecamm was muted. So I said, click that little mute button. And then all of a sudden it worked. It was fantastic. You know, there's something about, I think for a lot of folks, ironically, it's a little bit like religion. I don't know about in Christianity, but in Judaism, it's well known that getting people to cross the threshold into a sanctuary is half the battle, because people just, they have a thing. Some people just have a thing about, institutionalized religion, whatever. And with technology, it's the same thing. Like, he's a smart guy, he's a professor. He's a lot smarter than I am, but there's just something, you get hung up on the smallest little things, like the mute button and dragging the right screen. And
because people think it's something bigger than it is.
Right.
They don't think to start like good,
right.
You start easy and then work your way up. It's a lot easier to troubleshoot.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, that's Tamara. Hey, Tamara.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
My meeting got pushed back, so I came late, but I'll have to leave early. I was like, I'm going.
Happy to have you here. And Brandy Joe's right next to you on my screen. How you doing, Brandy Joe?
Hello. I would say this is my best day so far.
Well, there you go. Okay. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I actually showed up. I was on, and then you all froze in my teleprompter, and I went, that's not going to cut it for me. So let's go reboot. Like, you have to tell everything to talk to each other again. And so I took care of that. I am here because I do have a Zoom question eventually.
Bring it. Ready for you.
Oh, really? So I can go ahead and ask that now? Okay.
Sure, why not?
I'm also connected to Erm. She's actually the one who told me about Zoom Test Kitchen, and I hopped on one time, and I was like, what a wild bunch. And so I'm all for the rowdy. Maybe not so much other things, but not here. I'm just also, you were talking about birthdays before I asked my question. You were talking about birthdays, and I've got to tell this. I've been telling it all week long because, well, there's lots of men in the room, and my fellow woman in the room, Erm, is not here to hear it. My birthday, I reached level 51 on Tuesday. So
level 51. I
call it level 51.
I love it. You're leveling up.
I love that so much.
So you're a youngster.
I am proudly the youngest of the old people.
Love
That's what I like to call it.
Have
Anyway.
you told people you were born in the last?
I'm getting a little serenade.
Have you told people
I
that you
usually-
were born in the last century?
What I tend to
Last
do is I
millennium.
wait for I wait for the moments, and I'll usually say something like this when it's my opportunity to say, well, back in the 1900s, this is what we did. So, and because we can do that now, and I've got my silvers to prove it. I'm all right with it. I plan on being like the peppiest young woman there is running the planet at like 105, and maybe even transparent at that time. Like you just see through me, and I'm running around. I don't know, but you can tell I'm kind of out there with lots of fun.
Love
And so
Bring us
this-
your zoominess.
this might be a little heartwarming, and I actually shared this in a room full of men the other day, and they were like, yes, thank you for that. So I'll try to keep this really super short, but this, I can't imagine, because we're talking about the 1900s just now, this is even better. So on Tuesday, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm a little bit raspy and low. I got hit with something last weekend in the sinuses, and then it moved around and was trying to play hide and seek. So, but I'm coming out on that, and I didn't plan anything for my birthday. Part of that was because I was like, well, as long as I'm alive, we're good, and I can breathe, we're good. Well, though my birthday was not what I envisioned, it was actually better. And I didn't plan anything. And that happened when I got a text at 10:50 a.m. I live an hour south of Seattle in the capital of Washington called Olympia. And so I'm from the Midwest. I grew up in Indiana, where there is not more than corn, maybe beans every other year. But to get to the point, my dad has been, he gave me his best years. He's still alive, gave me his best years. And I'm watching him, eventually he's going to get promoted to heaven here. Not in the too near future, but it'll be not too long. And so I've heard some stories over my lifetime, but this just tops it. So the text comes in, and this is what it says. I'm going to show you something. And I'll be very, very brief with this. So I'm not going to tell you what this is, but I'm going to show you this. Okay? This right here. You cannot read it.
No, you
All
can't.
right.
It's because it's backwards also.
So this is very significant. So here's the text I get. I remember this day back in 1974, sitting in a rice paddy and watching a medic AP writer wading through the water, hollering out my name, and that I had a telegram. This is the telegram. It read that I had a daughter born to me and weighed 7 pounds and 10 ounces and was named Brandy Joe and was beautiful and healthy, and all was well with mother and child. An overwhelming wave of mortality swept over me, and I dropped to my knees and asked God to please watch over me till I got back so I could see her in person and hold her. My prayer was answered, and the rest is history. Happy birthday, sweetheart. It's been a blessing and a joy for you to be a part of our lives. Love, Dad. So I didn't see my dad until I was 8 months old. He was in the Vietnam War. That was what this came from. And I thought, this traveled. Not only did the message travel, but the paper itself traveled back. And only on my 51st birthday did I tear apart my garage trying to find this because he had mentioned it. I know that my mom said it was in my baby book. And so I just thought to myself, this is what was happening in the time I was born, and now look at what we're on 2-dimensional airwaves here, basically. I know it's probably more than that, but that's what happened to me this week, and it gave me a real sobering look at technology and the difference that 50 years can make. So then I think, what's 50 years like going to look like from now forward? So I just wanted to share that little piece before I ask my question. And then I went down a rabbit hole of trying to learn about telegrams and Morse code and all of that. So right after that, I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Okay, so my Zoom question is, I have been able to be on multiple calls and use my Rodecaster Pro to play my music. I hook it up to my iPhone, no problem. People can hear it. I'm not the one hosting the calls. Well, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But it can always be heard. I'm on a call for the last 2 weeks, and it seems to be the person hosting the call is coming through the Ecamm for Zoom scheduled event on their end. And so for whatever reason, when I play my music on this particular event, it cannot be heard. So I'm wondering, what is the setting, my end, their end? What's causing there to be hear it any other time versus that this particular type of event, I guess?
It might be the share settings.
Could be the share settings. The other one, it can be, because I've had music disappear when I've played it and forgotten to change turn off original sound or turn on original sound, because Zoom's filtering system sometimes will just say that's not human speech and just shut it off.
So let's look at both of those real quick. So the first thing is that you mentioned is share in the share settings. So if you look at your share settings, let me make myself full screen. In order for sound to come across, all things being considered equal, like let's imagine you're not using any sound equipment, you haven't changed any settings or anything, you're just using Zoom. You have to check either share sound or optimize for video sharing. If you click optimize for video sharing, it will automatically check share sound for you. But if you don't do this, Zoom is not going to bring that audio over
At all. But any other time it does.
And secondarily, they would have to allow others to share, which their meeting maybe doesn't have. So under their host tools, it may have, they can share or there's a choice for them to have multiple people share at a time. And sometimes that will allow for that too.
Okay. Because when we're on a regular call, it works, but it's only when we go into this one particular meeting and I'm like, that's strange because it works any other time.
And your Zoom, the original sound for musicians is on?
Yes.
Okay.
in the back end and in the front in the meeting.
Yes.
So, yeah. Do you want me to show you that or
like even right now it's on. So
what does it say in the top?
It's saying
At the top of your screen, of your Zoom screen.
Top right side.
Right next to view. What do you see?
Yeah, original sound for musicians is on.
Okay, great.
And then it has the YouTube and it has the recording.
Yep.
Shows that you're streaming. Yeah. And so like even now, if I were to hook up my iPhone, because it goes, hit the stream deck button. Okay, what has happened?
Yeah, we lost your picture. You just turned off your video.
There we go. Sorry. I hit my notebook. Even if I were to hook up right now and just play a little tiny tune, you should be able to hear it.
Correct.
So, or should I try that?
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
get that set up. And Robert, in the meantime, do you want to jump in?
Well, Brandy Joe's setting something up. I don't want to disturb her. Let her concentrate on that because I was going to ask her a question.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go. Okay.
Right. So just so everyone knows, how are you connecting how are you sharing this from your iPhone?
That
It's
was
hooked
exactly
in-
my question.
It's hooked into my Rodecaster Pro. Hardwired, hard.
Okay, so you're plugging your phone into the Rodecaster Pro,
Mhm.
and then the Rodecaster Pro into your computer. Are you using any other software other than Zoom?
No, just the
Just-
Rodecaster, and that's it.
Just Zoom, vanilla Zoom.
I
Okay.
don't know enough about the road.
Well, I mean, Ecamm for Zoom is how I came in.
No, that's what I was asking. Okay, so you're using Ecamm. So you've got your phone to Rodecaster to Ecamm to Zoom. Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let's just do something really easy on the ears. Okay. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it works all the time, no matter what meeting I'm on. But it's this one meeting that she has, and I'm like, I don't know why you can't hear it.
Robert, what do you think?
Let me try this. Brandy Joe, when you play this music, do you mute your microphone in any way?
I don't know. Should I mute my microphone and play it?
Well, can you play it now and just mute your microphone, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so it stopped. Okay, so let's look at this workflow. Your sound track is going through your microphone. So if you're muting your microphone, the sound doesn't
Robert,
go through.
let me just interrupt real quick. It's not going through her microphone. It's going through her Rodecaster. Quick clarifying question. Did you mute Zoom or did you mute somewhere else?
I muted Zoom.
Oh, so if you muted Zoom, then
Yeah, we're not going to hear
is
anything.
shut off, right? But just for you, Robert, it's not. It is the mic input, but it's not the mic. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
But I just wanted to make sure where, Brandy Joe, that you're muting your mic. Is it a hard mute on the mic, or is it in?
It's on my Stream Deck.
It's on your Stream Deck.
Zoom. She's muting.
When you press that, do you
Or
see
is she muting the input into Ecamm? Because if
Yeah.
she's doing that and she's using the Rodecaster, that's going to mute everything from Ecamm or from the Rodecaster in.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah.
Are you using Audio Hijack and Loopback? Or you are using a Rodecaster Pro 1 or 2?
2?
Okay, so
I'm
you already have
thinking-
mix minus.
There's a quick way to test this. Can you do me a favor and just mute your mic one more time? The way you would do it if you were. Yeah, she's muting in Zoom. She's not muting in, because you can see that in the participants panel that
Right.
it's not muted. So this isn't about Ecamm or anything else. The reason if that's what you're doing, if you're clicking the mute button so that nothing goes through your mic, you need to mute your actual physical microphone somewhere, either on the mic or on the Rodecaster, and not press the mute button on your Stream Deck, because that's muting everything.
That's what my next question was going to be. Do I need to mute? Because I could still, if I turn the music up just a tiny bit, like, okay, and I mute my mic, which would be this.
We can still hear your music.
That solves all my problems.
It's faint, but
There's one other
Yeah, I
thing.
kept it low. I kept it low. this time.
Brandy Joe, I just want you to be careful with one other thing. That you're actually able to unmute your microphone in that one specific meeting that's causing the issue.
that's a good point also.
Right, because that is something the host may not have it set to allow participants to unmute. So that would be something on their end to check.
Got it.
Yeah, and the only way
Good
you
call.
can get around that, if you want to be able to switch your mic on and off, is for that person to make you the co-host.
Well, and then interestingly enough, I come in as co-host through a whole different setup on OBS. So I run two, OBS and Ecamm. And so I am co-host over here, but I don't have any sound on coming from that on purpose. I'm not running anything through that right now. And so I see now that's a big hefty answer. And I'm going to hold on
I'm just
to
curious. Like, is it content? Is it to bring in content? Is it to moderate? Is it to?
It's to bring in two separate software uses that I have been creative with. Is the best way I can put it. Which
Great.
you'll probably see more of as I start to launch things, because I kind of I like innovative stuff. So Ecamm and OBS babies is what I'm after.
Okay. And Brandy, there's one other thing that I want to just make sure that you don't get caught in a trap here. With the new updates from on the Zoom Workplace, the option to synchronize your mic with the Zoom mic mute is on. So if you mute your mic, you'll automatically mute yourself in
Yes,
Zoom as
that's
well.
true.
So you're double muted.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, Robert?
In the newest updates that Zoom has released, irrespective of what the status of your synchronize your mute button on your mic with Zoom, it automatically synchronizes now. The default has become synchronizing. So what happens if that is synchronized is if you mute your mic, you get muted in Zoom. So that may be also a different situation, Brandy Jo, that you may have. If you start your music, you think it's going well, you mute your mic, and you've actually muted yourself in Zoom as well, and you've stopped the music from going out because you've synchronized those two buttons. You just need to go into the options there and just remove the sync.
Is there?
It's super easy. Underneath audio profile, there's a thing that says headset, and it's a click on, click off. Just click it off.
Okay.
And it's true,
Yeah.
especially if you're using an MV7 mic.
Well, and I will say this. Thank you for that, Robert, because I would probably find myself, especially with updates, I'd be like, what in the world's happening? And what we did do here made sense because I can mute my mic on. I'd rather just reach to my left and do it like I am right now, like I just did. And you could hear the music and I watched my Zoom button down here on my Stream Deck and it's not muted. So I'm like, we got it working, and I can be able to be successful with the music, and that, like, you made literally solve my problem. So this has been, to me, priceless. I'm like, phew, I thought I was going to have to figure out so many different things in different ways and spend hours on it. So, and Erm's the one I said, hey, is that Zoom Test Kitchen this Friday? She's like, oh yeah, I'll be there. And I see her now. Hi, Erm.
Welcome, Erm, and hello, Lois, as well. Good to see both of you. All right, cool. I'm glad we worked. We did some stuff there. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What's going on with everyone else? What are we working on? What's going on with folks? Yeah, we missed you in August, Erm. Good to have you back.
We've got a challenge if no one else does, David.
Go for it.
Yeah. I need to open in one meeting over 250 breakout rooms. And I know that our friends down in Australia can do this, but what they do is they open multiple meetings using OSC and then put people into predefined breakout rooms. So that's a possibility, and I understand how that can be done. However, my challenge here is that we don't need a lot of people in this meeting. We just need to put everyone in pairs. So there can be 500 people and we need to put them in pairs. And so far I've been running down the wrong side of the road, I think, or going upstream. And what I've discovered is that if you buy the additional license for Zoom meetings for a large meeting, then you'll get up to 100 from 50. But there is one other way to do nearly it. And I say nearly because I can get up to 200, which I didn't know, I just discovered this week, is if you run a Webinar Plus, you can have 200 breakout rooms in Webinar Plus, which is nearly there. And I've tested it and it works. So that's good news. But any ideas on how to get more than that?
Like for me, I would be using Obvio and using multiple linked meetings. That's what I would do. And then when they log into Obvio, they would go into their respective rooms, but that requires broadcast from the outside into each of those meetings.
Right.
Are they coming to your main room, Robert, or are they disappearing after breakout rooms are done?
Now we've got about the session is about 3 hours, and we go out into breakout rooms 3 times during those 3 hours to do different exercises.
And do all of the people have to do it simultaneously? In other words, if you had group A in the main room, group B broken out, and then switch.
That's one thing we have taken as a plan B, is to do it that way, but it's not the preferred method. But it's a really good idea. We've been thinking about that and walked through that one.
And the people won't really care because you'll just be doing the same thing for everybody, just doing it twice for group A and group B.
Yes and no, because this is a bit like Hasmuk's setup, where it's very interactive. That's why we have it in a meeting setup. And so it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, we figured it out. Okay, get out in your breakout rooms, come back. Okay, how did it go? What worked? What didn't work? And we're bouncing it backwards and forwards. So it's very interactive.
And then the final question is, does it have to be 2? Could it be 3?
It has to be 2. Mm.
ChatGPT 5 says neither supports 250. That 200 is your max.
I know. Thank you.
But you could do it in 2 different meetings, but you'd have to just link your broadcast.
Yeah, link your broadcast, and then we bring people on stage, so it gets a little bit tricky because we'd have to use Zoom ISO in both of them and pull the people who put their hands up and bring them on the common stage and push them back in. It's not that straightforward.
Yeah, that's not as straightforward because you'd almost have to do your broadcast. I would probably do it as my broadcast team is in one meeting and then the other people in another meeting, and I'd be broadcasting that meeting into the other 2. So bringing people from your audience on stage isn't possible, but it is possible that your team is in one meeting and then you're broadcasting that one meeting into those other 2 meetings.
Yeah, but it's not a team, it's the audience that is.
Yeah, so that's where it becomes difficult.
The option at the moment, the option we're looking at is the preferred option is the webinar, where people put their hands up, and because they're invited people, we'll just bring them straight on stage.
Yep. And that gives you 200.
Can you put a cap on the people who can sign up and only have 400? Well, I don't know how far along you are in the process.
Yes, we could do that.
It's called clients. Clients make decisions.
Yeah, it's called overbooking in the airline industry, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember Twine?
Yeah.
I wonder if this won't help you get more breakout rooms, but it could help you assign those breakout, do the assignments more easily. I mean, now they've kind of, I don't know. Now they've turned it into a do everything app, which I'm not a fan of. When they first started it, I thought it was really cool the way it would help you create your breakout rooms, and now it's all like AI garbage. Sorry.
I thought you were the big AI fan, David.
Oh,
That may
I
be the
am a
most
big-
negative AI thing I've heard come out of David's mouth.
No, I am a big AI fan, but I'm a fan of AI when it's done purposely and well, and it's not just garbage just kind of dumped on whatever. That's not the point.
No AI is done purposely and well. It's all statistically correct, David.
No, I mean, but like apps, like yesterday, I actually was meeting with a testing company for school, for K-12 school. And they were showing me around their website, and then they showed me that there's an AI button, and it opened a little chat window. And as soon as they showed me that, I'm like, oh God, like why did you need to include that? Like, that's not your chat. Unless you're paying tokens and plugging into Gemini or ChatGPT, it's going to be terrible. So just don't. Do what you're good at. Focus on what you're good at, folks. And so Twine, for I don't know, maybe what they were doing wasn't taking off, but it was a cool way to take a whole bunch of people and get them into one-on-ones or two-on-one, whatever, however you want it, in breakout rooms. But it wouldn't give you more breakout rooms. That it wouldn't do.
Anyway, thanks for the ideas. It was good to bounce them off.
Get some of them to join on Teams.
Or tell people they have to, right? Not digital teams. They have to invite people over to each other's homes. So then you can have 5 people join on one computer. I don't think that actually helps.
AI is actually getting to you, David. You need to take a break.
Is that what's happening?
You're hallucinating.
Is that what's happening? Yeah. So, oh my goodness. What else are we working on? Does anyone have any idea what's coming up at Zoomtopia? Like,
You know what I want to come up?
any big announcements?
I want end-to-end record to come up so I can start
Really?
using Riverside. That's
You
what I
think there's
want.
Any chance?
No, I don't know, but that's what I want because I've been using Riverside and I'm like, what would be cool is to just be able to use Zoom. That would be cool.
Tamara, what is end-to-end record?
It means that like if we're in a chat, instead of like if I were recording this meeting, then I'm at the mercy of my internet and all of your internets. And so it's going to some of you are going to be blurry. End-to-end record, like if you use something like Riverside, it records your part on your computer and my part on my computer and uploads that. And then I have 2 perfect copies, or as perfect as it's going to be, because it's not dependent on internet. So that's my dream, because I like to just stay in Zoom all day long. And I don't want to switch into other things.
If I can just add on to that, Tamara, not only is it not dependent on internet, but there's no compression taking place because you've got a clean feed straight out of your camera and straight out of your microphone. So it's the best feed you can get.
So that's the dream.
It's a nice dream.
It's a good dream, right?
It's a nice dream.
So I asked, because I got curious, if for those of us who've been playing with Zoom graphics, I got asked. I asked Andy, actually on the Zoom Test Kitchen Discord channel. There's a grayed out option on the left bar called Talent Management.
Oh, I saw your question about this. Yeah.
I saw that question too, and that was very cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And so my I'm just wondering if that will surface finally at Zoomtopia, where they'll say, because they're using it now apparently.
Well, wait. Tell us, so what do you think it is?
Or so what it says is, At his direct answer was, at Zoomtopia in years past, this page has been loaded onto an iPad that we handed to the talent so they can click on a question and have it appear on the screen in the venue as well as on the live stream when taped. So they can actually, the talent can control the questions as opposed to the host or whomever the Zoom graphics host is. In my case, that's me.
Yeah, I can think of a use case scenario in a thing I work on where your talent can handle like going through, oh, I want to answer that question, I don't want to answer that question, but once they pick
Exactly.
it, then it shows up, which is like super
Or it goes
super
into
useful.
the priority queue so that then
Right.
whoever's hosting the main part of graphics can
Move
say,
it over and
we're going to do that one now.
yeah.
It shows up where? On their square?
I was just going to ask the same thing because that makes me think of Mukana.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of is, but
And it's built into Zoom.
it's not Zoom.
Right.
But where you said you click a button and it shows up. Shows up where?
Oh, hold on. I'll show you exactly.
So is it in the person's square that it's going to show up, or is it?
No, it's going to show up in the wherever you're sending your master video. So, David, you're putting a bunch of stuff through Ecamm into a camera that you can change. Yeah, and I do the same thing with Memo Live. So when I'm using Memo Live, and that's what I have full screen to my participants, right? So it shows up there along with my talent. I mean, I could, yeah, I could probably do this. This is going to look a little strange, folks.
Just keep in mind that we're actually producing a URL so that URL can be displayed where you want it.
Well, you have to have a capture. You have to have a capture for that URL to
Sure.
put it somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, you know,
Oh, that's nice.
so, and then videos.
Do you need some Q&A or some chats?
Well, I'm not actually hooked up to this through my Zoom graphics engine. I'm not actually hooked up to this. This is me setting up for something I'm doing for 6 hours tomorrow. If you can appreciate that.
So you're the host of the meeting, I assume? Peter?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if you're the host and you hand the talent an iPad and they push a button, is it their talent's window that changes, or is it the host's window that changes?
Well, that's a different conversation. I hate to say this because this is what my screen looks like, and I spotlight that screen for everyone.
Okay, so it's
So
okay.
yeah.
Thank you. It was unclear to me if
Sure.
talking about a meeting, a webinar, yeah.
And the gap along the bottom, I spent a fair amount of time measuring this, although I don't have it turned on right now, is where the question would show up if somebody fed in a Q&A, right? And that's just controlled by Memo Live and working together with Zoom graphics and where things show, because it's just a set of web pages.
Sorry, so you built this page using Memo Live, grabbing the Zoom ISO presumably, and the Sea Scouting Traditions image.
So understand, I'm probably not quite as bad as you, David, but remember, this is all volunteer stuff for me. I've got 4 Macs sitting here, all running into a 2ME. The Memo Live is generating the background image and the super source, and then one of the Mac Minis is feeding the traditions. That's just a PDF. And Zoom ISO is running on another Mac Mini, feeding into the 2ME, and now the 2ME feeds into Zoom right now.
And you're bringing graphics in from somewhere also.
Graphics is running on yet another Mac Mini. Thank you
Right.
very much.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, I mean, I can.
I feel like you're underutilizing Memo Live in this. I feel
Well,
like Memo Live could be bringing in the Zoom ISO. It could be bringing in the.
I found a couple things. Now, it may have gotten better over time, but since I invested in the hardware, I'll use it. To be quite honest, is yes, I could bring it. I could bring it in through NDI into Memo Live from. But I find the audio drifts from the video.
No, I mean, but what I mean is, why aren't you just using Memo? Like Zoom is built into Memo Live. Couldn't you join from this computer, grab the ISO, put it up there?
Not with my license, I can't.
Oh, it's a license issue. Okay.
The licensing issue. I am running under the pure not-for-profit version of the code that
Memo Live.
for Memo Live,
Gotcha.
right? And so because I did think about that. I said I could simplify this greatly, but frankly, there's a huge cost difference between the licensing fee for the not-for-profit version and what essentially is the broadcast version of Memo.
Gotcha.
Even Peter, even I do have a Mimo Live license, but I prefer to use Zoom ISO to bring in feeds over NDI.
Yeah,
You're doing it.
yeah. I mean,
Can
yeah.
you talk about why? I'm curious.
I'd rather not say it, to tell you the truth. Let me be the diplomat here. Zoom ISO is such a solid and stable and predictable platform that it's just worth using for that reason.
That makes sense. I was asking mostly because I bring in all my feeds directly through Ecamm for Zoom, and I was wondering if there was a reason that I mean, I haven't had any issues with it, but
yeah. So
I'm also like a very simple workflow. It's
So there you can see how a question would show up.
Yeah.
And David, I personally, and this is me and not Mimo Live, I have never managed to sync audio and video in Mimo Live perfectly well when I'm bringing in Zoom people from the outside.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Robert. I've never had a problem with Zoom ISO. Not since the early days when everyone was having problems with it, but since version 2's come out, it's been, and frankly, feeding it in hardwired in through a DeckLink card into my 2ME just makes it dead simple. I use the Memo Live for the background and stuff. So
for what it's worth, just so that anyone watching who loves Memo Live knows, these issues are not just Memo Lives. Like I have in Ecamm, there's some sync issue. Look, the more things you put in your chain, the more, whether hardware or software, the more things you put in your chain, the more chance there is for little tiny tweaks so this isn't a complaint against Memo Live necessarily.
But having said that, David, if I go on site and I have several cameras and I have several audio sources and I've got graphics and I've got all sorts of things, Mimo Live handles that perfect. It's just beautiful. It's when the Zoom SDK switches on, that's when I get the jitters.
That's interesting. Yeah. So it also has something to do with the implementation of the SDK. Yeah.
You configure or use Zoom ISO to manage both ISO a video, ISO's a participant, and then manage the audio? How do you? What's the overview of that?
Well, I don't. I'm a simple person. Everything has to flow in one direction. So everything comes out from ISO into Mimo, and then on the outputs, because Mimo is so beautiful in the way that you can define the number of outputs. I mix the output, get it ready, and I put that back into Zoom.
Let's say there's no Mimo Live, just in the production, there's Zoom ISO as the key hosting application. And now we ISO somebody in the meeting, a participant. And I know I have this problem sync issue because when you do things in the ATM and then feed it into program, you're going to have issues. I understand that. But does Zoom ISO have a role to play because Zoom ISO does support audio? And how and when or if ever has anybody used the audio function in Zoom ISO?
I mean, I use the audio function. I use it all the time because I bring out the isolated participants with audio, so everything is clean and isolated. And I also bring out the interpretation channels, which is also beautiful in Zoom ISO. You can bring them out separately. But I don't push anything back down that channel. Yeah? It's
Understood.
all one way for me.
Understood. So if in a participant I ISO them as a video, and then how do I catch their audio as well within Zoom ISO? Because the audio is going into my meeting where everybody's in a meeting and a participant that is now, let's say, asking the question. I'm now Zoom ISOing that person that's asking the question. Do I do anything to the audio within Zoom ISO if I ISO that person?
But you can't push it back into the same meeting because it'll just loop back.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. They need to be separate in some way or the other.
I only asked this question because I've never dabbled with the audio tab in Zoom ISO, so I've never done anything there.
It's very good. You can take out the individual ISO feeds of the audio, or you can have a mix. You can also put the mix on different left-right channels if you want. There are several options that you can set up, and it flies out beautifully via NDI. I usually do it via NDI. We've played with it on Dante when we have big installations, and it's also very clean, no problems at all, and easy to configure. But that's usually, like I said, I always have the flow one way. I don't know how to do these two directional flows where you're taking something out of a meeting and putting it back into the same meeting.
No. Let's say we are not putting it back in the same meeting. When you ISO the person, you ISO their audio as well. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct. That is correct. You have the option of selecting that, and then it goes out together with the, depending on the device that you're using. If you're using NDI, you'll get the video with the audio.
Does this all happen under the advanced audio tab?
In places, the advanced audio tab is what you would set up as, for example, your program output, which is a mix of everything.
Right.
But if you go to where you set up and select the individual attendees that you're isolating,
Yeah,
you have an audio
right now. So.
Okay, but there is a column that says audio.
Yeah, it says embedded audio. Right.
Correct. So then that's when you choose to switch it on and define how you want it, the different options that you can set up there.
Gotcha. Cool.
That just reinforces the adage of the more you know, the less you know. So something else to learn again.
Yeah. Did any of you see that Zoom was named? Oops. Wait a second. I pressed the wrong button. Zoom was named a leader in UCAS technologies. This is by the Forrester Wave. So UCAS is Unified Communications as a Service Platforms. It's basically all the platforms that do telecommunications and video and chat and all that other stuff. And I mean, I have no idea where this came. Oh, this came from Forrester Research. Zoom is way up here as a leader. And all the others are back here. Google, Microsoft, and Cisco are even, I mean, they're leaders, but they're, assuming that this is the, that you want to be up here.
Yes, it's an upper right is the right answer, is where you
Yeah.
want to be.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. 16 criteria: meeting experience, AI, chat. Pretty cool. I don't know. It's not as exciting to me as an Emmy, but
No, but if you're a corporate client, these are the Forrester, Gartner, those are the people they look to for these
Oh,
kind
is
of
it?
reports to make decisions on what they're going to buy and implement, right?
right. Yeah, they talk about that up at the. What does this mean? Right, when you're evaluating UCAS vendors, they can be challenging with so many reputable providers to choose from. Yada yada yada. Right. Yeah. Did you want to jump in?
Thank you. Maybe a Tony is on its way before the Emmy, David. Who knows? I don't know. Would you settle for a Tony? I have a question about adding accounts in Zoom under user management. So if my client adds adds me under their account with a different email address than theirs. So, right, not at zoomtestkitchen.com, but at ermlombardi.com. So I'm outside of their organization. Does that mean that I would be able to, under their license, be able to host free 40-minute, up to 40-minute meetings? What does that, is that what that means? Like, I wouldn't be a licensed user and everything, all the benefits of that. I get that. But being outside of their organization, when you add somebody like that as a user, what does that actually mean?
Are you going to take that, David?
Say that one more time.
Do you want to take that?
No, go for it.
So when you get added as a user on someone else's license, you've actually set up a free user account.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you still have the rights from that free Zoom user account when you get added.
Got it.
What you said is really important, that it's a different email account or
Yes.
a different Zoom account. Otherwise, you lose everything on your main account. Yeah.
Okay.
What Zoom will do, if they were to add your main Zoom account to their corporate account,
Yes.
Zoom would automatically return all the funds to your account.
Okay.
You would become part of their org. So it's very, very tricky. And you did the right thing by having a completely different email account and
Okay.
different Zoom user. Okay.
All right. Thank
So
you.
once you're in their org, you can run your own meetings.
Right.
But if you want to be an alt host,
Yes. You have
for
to
one
have
of
the
them,
same, right?
you have to have a paid license. They have to allocate a license
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that I knew. Okay, that's great. So that means I would, with my own personal email, set up my own login, my password, whatever. I would just be under one of their users as a free user. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. That's very helpful.
Mhm.
Wanted to make sure.
Just be aware, though, that joining. So a couple weeks ago, I forgot who it was. Was it Mike? Yeah. I was going to be away, and we wanted Mike to be able to be an alt host to open this meeting. And what he did is he created a new email account, and I added him. That now I happen to have an extra seat available. But just be aware that when you join someone else's org, you lose a lot of control over your Zoom experience, because if depending on how they've set it up. Because as an org admin, I can decide what your URL is. I can decide what your, all the different settings, what can be on, what can be off. So just be aware of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Somebody
Yeah.
else controls the vertical and the horizontal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Leo in the waiting room this whole time? Oh, for goodness sakes. Leo Mandel kept coming in as AV Shock. We didn't know who he was, and we didn't let him in.
And I did say I was. I did say
You
in
said
the way
you were Leo,
but yeah, I know. Anyway,
And he's always driving on the wrong side of the street.
right, and he's doing this while he's driving, dear Lord. And it's 3 a.m. Or
it's
no,
not 3 in the morning. It's not 3 in the morning.
No, it's only
Hey,
11.
Leo, good to see you.
Yeah, yeah. It's not 3 in the morning. There you go. There you go.
Sorry. So in any case, I just a cautionary note also. And sorry, one last thing. I don't know, Robert, if you said this, but I would be a little concerned about any recordings that you might have in your personal account if you're moving it over to an org. Like, I'm not quite sure what happens with your storage when you do that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like I never use it. And in this exact scenario, thank you for mentioning everything you did. It's like all the boxes are checked. It would be fine, but I
there you go. Great.
appreciate the reminders. Thank you.
It's the alt host thing, and the whole needing to be part of your org thing continues to be a real spoke in my wheels. I just find it. I get it. I absolutely get why it is. It's just for my workflow, it's really frustrating that I can't assign someone outside of my org to open a meeting for me. But
David, can I just ask one more question? Are you expecting, since Zoom won this Emmy award, are you expecting at Zoomtopia Eric to come out and sing or dance?
well, no, Eric wasn't named actually. So Eric didn't win the Emmy. So it's going to be Andy. It's going to be one of those 3 who's going to come out and sing. That's fantastic. Cool. Andy's back. I think, looks like maybe he's driving.
I am.
Drive safely, please.
Headed home. So.
Good. We are very much in the calm before the storm of Zoomtopia. I actually just jumped over to the Zoom blog, and the latest the latest thing that I see is this Forrester Wave announcement, which is old. It's a couple weeks ago, I think. Let me see when this was. Oh goodness, yeah, it was published on July 14th.
Yeah.
So they're busy hunkering down and getting ready for Zoomtopia. Oh, Lois is back. Hi, Lois. And just
I've been here the whole time. I was just eating,
I'm sorry.
wanting to, make anybody jealous.
And just so everyone knows, so next week is the Apple event on the 9th.
Yep.
And Zoomtopia is on the 17th.
Following week.
Yeah. Which I actually need to make sure is blocked out on my computer. There we go. On my calendar. So no one else books anything.
Can I just share something about the Apple event, David?
Please, of course.
For the last 2 years, when I've been watching the Apple events, I've been convinced that they're using avatars and that they're not real people. And ever since I've started using Synthesia, where you can create a video avatar, in other words, you have a professional avatar made of yourself, and the movements and everything is perfect. I now know that for the last 2 years, Apple have been using avatars. So watch this one, and I'll tell you the way you can.
You're not being serious, are you?
I am very serious.
No.
I'm very serious.
Avatars. You mean the people doing the presentations aren't real?
Nope.
Yes, they are. That's absurd.
How can you tell the difference between a perfect avatar and a person?
Okay, well, first of all, you need to watch our show from last night, because that's what it was all. A rundown last night was all about what's real anymore. But oh my goodness, those are absolutely real people. Really?
No, I'll tell you what the giveaway is. And I think it was last year that they all jumped into the room where they were presenting in. Each one of them sort of had this jump, this leap at the beginning of their talk. And if you watch the leap, the trajectory is identical for each one of them. You can't do that in real life.
I don't believe it.
Watch the next one, David.
Wait, I'm trying to pull up an old one so I can. Oh no, Keynote. No, I don't know how to find it. Apple Keynotes.
It's an interesting point, Robert, because I mean, listening to like the various press people that go there, that all they see the same video we do, right? They don't actually, they're not looking at a stage anymore like we were pre-COVID, right? The press is only there to get hands-on to the new products.
So you're telling me that he's not really there?
Watch his hands, watch his legs, and watch his movement as he comes in and moves out of that scene.
All right, let me
compare it with what happens with the other speakers.
I get to the beginning of where he. All right, here we go. I'm not putting this in because I don't want us to get a takedown. Apple does that very often.
Yes.
Let's see. All right, here we go. That's beautiful. Nice transitions. I mean, I could absolutely argue that he's not really there, that he's on a green screen. That I could definitely argue. Like when I looked at his feet back then, it looked to me like that does not look like he's really, hold on. I mean, it's a good job with the shadow, but I don't know if, but I think he's real. I mean, and you're telling me that that Tim Apple isn't real here? You're completely making this up.
No, I'm not
making this up.
I have a friend who actually took the films and he drew the trajectories of them jumping in for each one, and he embedded them on top of each other. And you can see the similarities. They're so close. They're too close to be just human. Humans are not that perfect.
Do you happen to remember what event that was? Maybe I'm looking at the.
I think it was 2 years ago that I last watched it. The one last year I didn't.
Like
The one 2 years ago. The one 2 years ago when he was on the top of the building, the circular building, it was covered in office hours that we didn't think it was real.
Yep.
But does it matter?
Right, that's a good point. It may not even matter, but all right, so this is 2 years ago. Let's see. Okay, we got the baby and the drums.
He's standing on the roof at one point. There's a bit of him standing on the roof. I'm sure it was 2 years.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no way to scrub on here, which is a little annoying, actually. I mean, I guess I could go like this, but it's not exact.
Could you spotlight, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is not the roof one. So you really can't scrub here. It's really. I don't think that's the one. Maybe it was a WWDC instead of a. Or I don't know, this one. I don't know. I mean, we've talked about that. A couple weeks ago, I brought that article from. Or maybe this is it. I brought that article about Eric from Zoom, how he also is giving quarterly results as an avatar. But for something like this, I mean, this is this is ridiculous. Is what this is. This is shot right here, but this is that's really kind of silly. Oh, this is the Craig. Is this Craig? Oh no, it's Tim. That's just an absurd opening. But you know what? That tells you actually everything you need to know. I mean, it's a show. It's absolutely a show. It's not a, keynote.
But this was the one when they launched the new iPhone. I can't remember, it was the 15, and they claimed that they filmed everything on the iPhone.
They've been doing all of them, I believe. I believe since then, they
Yeah.
say filmed on iPhone, all of them.
And they showed the rig that they were using on that one because it was in that area where Tim was standing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Whatever. I don't like. Come on. She's real. She's real. Robert. She's real. That's too good. It's too good to not be real.
That's the point. If it's too good, it's probably not real, David.
Okay. Who agrees with Robert and who agrees with me? Because he's lost his mind. That's what is that? What? No, you cannot vote for both of us.
Sure, I can.
Sure. Because in some respects, I think you both lost your minds. But
That's very true.
So some of those things were very human, like the hand. I don't see how that could be a fake. I certainly saw some of those things as green screens. Now you're telling me that they were all photographed with an iPhone. How are you going to get all that zooming going on with an iPhone? You're going to put it on a drone or something? So I think that it is definitely a production and it's definitely been enhanced, but I think there's real people involved too.
Speaking of drones and cameras, by the way, did any of you see? Oh goodness gracious! Adolescence, the series Adolescence.
Yes.
Was it on
Yes.
Max? I think it was. It was an excellent series, but a 4 or 5 part series. But one of the most fascinating things about it is that every episode was shot in one take. Not in. I mean, there may have been many takes, but there's no cuts. There's no editing in post, and they would have someone carrying a camera, and then a drone would come down, they'd attach it to the drone, and the drone would fly it up, and then they'd take it off the drone and put it into a car. It's just fascinating how they did that. It wasn't with an iPhone, but it was, I mean, really just
With a Ronin camera.
it was a Roland.
Ronin. There's Ronin Ford.
Oh, a Ronin 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just fascinating.
What was even more amazing is that the first episode took, I think, something like, I don't know exactly the figures, but it's something like the first episode took 5 days of the shoot, and the last 2 episodes they did on the same day.
Yeah.
They and you're absolutely right. The drone shot is just, after spending the whole time, it's suddenly, how did they do it? It's so clever. It was so clever.
It really is.
But the best thing I think about it was really good. However, the whole show was completely watchable, even if they hadn't have done that.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
It was an amazing storyline, and really it opened your eyes to some of the issues that younger people suffer from at the moment.
David, have you watched the recent Marques Brownlee film on what happens to iPhones because of LiDAR?
I just saw a piece of that today with the stars.
Yeah, it's actually burning out pixels in the sensor of the camera, which is very scary.
Yeah, I'm just.
What is LiDAR, Robert?
LiDAR.
It's a radar system used for scanning objects. It's most popular in self-drive cars, except for Teslas, which doesn't use it.
In fact, our Tesla just got Unreal Engine is now projecting all the cars around us in reality. It's an amazing picture. You feel like, oh, there's the road and there's the road. It's pretty amazing. But then Tesla, you're right, does not use LiDAR.
So is LiDAR something which is pointed away from the car, or is it pointed
Like
inside?
radar. It's like radar. Just
Is it
tells
pointed
you
away from the
what's
car?
around and what proximity, things like that. You can
Yeah.
use LiDAR to measure the dimension of this room. You
Right.
can use it for a lot of purposes.
So if it's in a car pointed away from you, then my iPhone in the car shouldn't be
No,
getting.
no, that's for different. It's not because of the car. No.
Okay.
It's the same if you're standing outside on the street and you're taking a picture of someone and one of those cars go past, they're scanning all the time. There's a very high amount of energy that's blasted out in the form of a laser beam that comes out, and it's strong enough to burn the pixels in the sensor of your.
Especially the Wemo, I think it's the Wemo cars because they have the app. It's giant apparatus on the top of the car that is constantly spinning that tells you where everything is, and Tesla's been able to do it without any of that hardware.
So if that's gonna, if that stuff is going to hurt the iPhone, does it hurt the people too?
It depends. So LiDAR's been around for a long time. I will first of all say that, and it's the LI in LiDAR stands for light, and it depends on what light they're using to reflect back. So if they're using high-powered lasers like the military uses for certain types of ranging apparatus, yes, it will hurt if you stare into the laser.
Be
On
fried.
the iPhone, it's at least on mine, it's right here. There's a little hole there, and it's an infrared light, and you won't see it. Your body won't see it, but it sees you. And so you can unlock your iPhone in the middle of the night with Face ID, and that's because the LiDAR, both in the front and the back, it's got the same kind of thing on the front, is shining an infrared light in your face, seeing your face and say, "Yep, I know, Peter, unlock." All right.
Yeah, but the energy in that is very low because it's very close.
Right.
We're
It's a
talking
very
about
low thing. But you're right, you can overload the sensor with lots of bright lights if you're not careful.
So here's his video. It's actually on Instagram, I believe. And if you look carefully, I tried to blow it up a little. See those little dots, the white dots? That's what he's talking about.
Yep.
That's the damage to the lens. And actually, someone asked Lois in the chat, how about our eyeballs? Like, what if it's doing this damage? So there you can see it, like all throughout. It's wild. If it's doing that damage to the lens, is it also damaging our eyeballs? Interesting question. There's the LiDAR on top of the car. That's wild.
that's him actually sacrificing an iPhone just to show that it does get damaged if you.
Right.
You can afford it.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Marcus does great work.
He really does.
And he has the gift of being able to put it across in a way that it's understood by me.
If you don't follow his YouTube, you should.
And also, the other thing I like about him, in addition to what you just said, Robert, is that I never feel like he's hyping something. I always feel like he's just. It's not only that he's not hyping; it's also his energy. But with iJustine, who I also really enjoy, I always feel like she's selling me something, and I don't feel that way with Marquez. Yeah, I really trust his reviews, and he's surrounded himself with an amazing team. They on the last Waveform podcast, they were discussing the invitation, the Apple logo, and what this heat map might mean on the Apple invitation. And actually, it's supposed to be reactive to when you click around, but it's for some reason it's not for me. I wonder if it's maybe there's a different page that I need to be on.
You need to blow on it gently, David.
Blow on
it? Could you put his name in the chat and on YouTube so that we can follow if we're interested?
Sure. Marquez Brownlee. Just pop that there and Everett Marquez. Hopefully I'm spelling that correctly. Thoughts, questions, insights. Again, it's the calm before the storm. There's not much going on. I'm trying to think if I've had anything. I'll tell you what I want. You know what I want from, here's what I want from Zoomtopia. I want one thing. It's a tiny thing. It's so small. I want a hotkey or a Stream Deck button to toggle original sound on and off. That's all I want. Just give me a hotkey to toggle.
Hello, John.
Hello, Lois. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I think you called.
hold on a second.
I didn't even
We gotta
hear the
mute Lois.
That's okay.
So the companion switch doesn't do that for you?
So I don't use Companion on my Zoom computer. I use it on a different computer, so that wouldn't help me. There, you can, I believe, using Companion, but I need native in Zoom.
So you
Okay,
need
what's
a true Stream Deck app, a true Stream Deck button with the Stream Deck app.
Say that again.
So you're talking about using Stream Deck with the manufacturer software as opposed to.
Or just a hotkey. Just give me a hotkey.
Oh, okay.
There's a hotkey for everything else. I just want a hotkey to toggle original sound on and off.
I want more than you do, David, for Christmas.
I'm easy. You know.
But I still want more than you do. I want an option to be able to switch it on by default.
Yes.
Wait, there was one. Wait. There was one.
You could say per microphone. You could. There was a per input. You said it was
that I
on
didn't see.
by default on per input, but I switched to this mic input. It would be on, and if it wasn't, but that I saw it for a while and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gone away because some of us, Leo included, remember when all that was starting to change around out from underneath. It was a bit like shifting sand.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was that long ago, Peter. But it was definitely. There used to be an ability to say original sound. The thing is, though, that whole area has had so much re-engineering.
Yes.
In came professional sound, or I can't remember what it's called for musicians and a few other bits and things. It has been evolving quite substantially. But I do agree with you. In today's world, you should have the ability to set it as you start or set it as you wish it to continue. Because I get caught out all the time with it.
I can't find it now, but Andy told us a while back that you can download a different app, Zoom app, like an admin Zoom app or something, that gives you the ability to just set original sound on all the time.
Sounds like that's a
I have
question.
no idea where to find it, and I'm searching through Discord right now, and I can't find it. But there is somehow a way to do that. Somehow, Robert Nurm, go ahead.
Go ahead. I've spoken enough today.
You have your hand up, Robert. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Now he does.
I just wanted to chime in and say if we're sending Zoom our wish list for Christmas or for whenever, I would really like the ability to open select breakout rooms only and not all of them.
Oh,
That
that's
is-
interesting. Right.
Yeah.
The
That would
only
be
way to do it
really
now is
nice.
to open
I
all
could see a
breakout
immediate
rooms.
use case for that.
Oh my gosh, so many times I've needed that. Yeah.
Tell me what the use case
Imagine.
for that is.
Pardon me?
Tell me what the use case for that is. I'm
Yeah,
trying
the
to figure
use
out.
case is in your, agenda flow. It's you're on a break, and as soon as you come back from break, you're going to go into breakout rooms or 5 minutes later. So you want everything, I want everything ready to go. And then in comes a speaker, I'm going to say, who's doing a 5-minute presentation and it's falling apart and you need to troubleshoot with that speaker. And I would like to open up the tech lounge so that we could go in there and then come back. Or two people need to have a private conversation outside of the main session. And because you've already configured the rooms according to, a tight agenda, let's say, you can't do anything.
Well, more basically, you can't, unless I haven't figured out a way, you can't open a new room once the rooms have been opened.
Yes, that as well.
You
Yes.
you can. There's a setting.
You can add a room.
Yeah, but you can also actually, I believe, you can do a lot of stuff. There's a setting in the back end that you need to enable. Let me pull it up.
Isn't it like Peter says that once it's opened, you can't, like, I know you can add and remove before you've opened,
You're
but
right.
I thought, yeah, once you've opened, you're done.
No,
No?
I believe you can add a room once you've opened. You can
Okay.
remove rooms.
Yeah, I think you can. Let me breakout room.
We should test it right now.
But yeah, let me just look. Webinar in webinar.
Depends on how he's got this meeting set, though.
Right, that's what I'm checking. Okay, here we go. So if you go into I'll bring this up for everyone. If you go into your settings and just search for breakout room, for in-meeting advanced, you can create, rename, and delete breakout rooms when rooms are open. But, and this is a big but, this requires minimum version. So if you haven't, if you have clients who have not updated if you have people who have not updated their clients and won't do it, they cannot join your meeting. Not only, it's not that they won't be able to take advantage of this feature, they can't even come in to the meeting. So and I was always afraid of turning these sort of things on because of that. I've actually had this one on for a while, and I don't know of anyone who hasn't been able to get into my room. So I'll just say, go ahead, Leo.
I had another feature. If you're
okay.
carry on with this feature, and I'll come in when you finish.
Okay. So you can create, rename, and delete breakout rooms when rooms are open. But you can't still just open a couple and like I could absolutely imagine wanting to have a couple open, and then while those are open, go ahead and prep some more or something. Or I'm not even sure how that would work.
David, is this for every account? Can I do this on my pro account, or do you have to have a business account?
Oh no, you should. I don't think this is business only. Yeah. I don't think it's business only.
Can you just go back to the use case? Are you setting up the breakout rooms and allocating people during the meeting, or are they pre-allocated?
You're speaking to me, Robert?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just noticed something on that screen share, David. So I found the setting, sorry, Robert, and there's a box, or there's a box that I think we have to check, which is set default breakout room behaviors. And then, oh no, I wonder if I had to check. No, that it opened up all your countdown, and like, it's not that. But anyway, I'm going to save that because I never noticed that ability to create, rename, and delete when rooms are open. So anyway, I just checked that box. I noticed you didn't have it checked either, David, but I'm going to check that and see if it makes a difference.
Oh, set default breakout room behavior. So this is what she's talking about. Sorry.
Yeah.
Set default breakout room behavior. Let's see what, I don't even know what that means.
It brings up, then it gives you an edit options box, and it says, allow participants to choose a room. You can set those are the defaults.
Oh, I understand. Right. Okay, so right now, every time you open rooms, in fact, let me I actually don't care very much for the way this works. It bothers me a little, but let me get, come on, mouse.
Can
Hold
you
on.
move your face out of the way so we can read what's behind you?
Hey,
Hey, what?
hey. Okay, I want to bring up, actually, I'm going to go into breakout rooms. And I'm going to bring this down here. Okay, so let me go over here. So this is breakout rooms. So I'm going to go ahead and create 3 breakout rooms. Assign automatically, assign manually. I'm just going to leave it. No, yeah, I'll leave it like that for now. Go ahead and create. So now it went ahead and did this. The piece that always gets me, that I very often forget to do, is to come down here to the gear and like automatically move all assigned participants, the auto close. And I think these are sticky from the last time you used it. I could be wrong about that. And so I may have used, yeah, you think so, Erm? So I may have used this for something and had auto close and then forget to click the gear and turn it off and then everything. So that maybe the set default breakout room behaviors allows you to, I don't know, allows you to, so that it's not sticky, so that you can actually choose what behaviors. Maybe I should do that. Set default breakout room behavior, edit options. Oh wait, let me go back over here. Sorry. So now I clicked set default breakout room, edit options. Okay. So let's see now. I always want to, I mean, I never assign people, but I'll just do that and I'll do that. I don't want to do that. Set a countdown timer for 10 seconds. Changes won't affect breakers that are currently in the countdown. Okay. Continue. There you go. I actually hadn't done that. I didn't kind of realize what it was. I like that. So now forgetting to click on the gear is a little less of a problem. Nice.
Can I just come back to my question, please? What's your use case?
Robert still doesn't understand why anybody would want to do what you're trying to do, Erm.
No, I'll tell you why, because I understand one use case. I'm just wondering if Erm's is different than the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, so the one I mentioned, and also like I've bumped up against that enough times where somebody's having an issue and it's really disruptive to solve it from a technical standpoint, and awkward to solve it in the main room. And so I just want to take them in a tech room. And what is another?
But if I can just be a bit more precise, and you already have the breakout rooms configured, so you don't want to lose that allocation. Is that correct?
Exactly, because oftentimes if it's an automatic, like a Zoom shuffle, I'm going to call it, whatever that language is, it doesn't matter. You can do that in a snap. But if you have, I mean, you just said how many people, how many breakout rooms, and you have to configure them. I sometimes don't have time to do all of that again in a very tight window.
Okay. If you have registration on and you've pre-registered all of the attendees, you can pre-allocate people into breakout rooms. And when you have that pre-allocate, if you go into the breakout rooms, you can start one breakout room and then reconfigure the breakout rooms with the allocation that you've defined in the back office and refill them in one go. And so you actually have a use case where if you know who's coming in, you've allocated them, and then you say, okay, let me put that one side. I need to have one room you can do that. And then when you reopen the breakout rooms, you select the restore from pre-allocation, I think it's called. That's the option. Yeah. And it'll fill in with the pre-allocate. So you'll go back to the situation you were in before that tech support call.
Oh, Robert, that sounds really brilliant. I'm trying to follow along, and I wish in the Zoom simulator, which is another thing I would like for Christmas, please. Can we have a Zoom simulator so that I could, right? To practice it before I'm actually in that scenario. Thank you. And the other thing is,
it's called the Zoom Test Kitchen. You can do it here. We're
yeah,
very tolerant.
kind of. We can just make, yeah, 100 AI people appear and we can test anything actually, as we've discovered. Thank you for that. And yes, and as I don't know, somebody said, you're at the mercy of what your client wants. So if it's not a registered, right? If it's not a registered event, then you don't have that luxury. But thank you. I'm going to keep that in mind. Very helpful.
Is
and,
there,
and the other thing with the breakout rooms, we've talked about this, but I think we need to keep repeating it, is that you can run a poll and based on the poll results, open breakout rooms. That's an
is there, Robert, you probably know this one. Is there a way that you can prepare breakout rooms and then remember that recipe and come back the next meeting or a later time? There's no remembrance of that, is there?
no, not in the vanilla Zoom app. Yeah. I know there is a way to do it using OSC where you've defined the breakout rooms and then you pull down and store that and then rebuild them from the list, but it's not in the Zoom app itself. No, the only way to do it is if there's registration and then you pre-allocate them. And the pre-allocation is pretty easy because you can actually do that in a spreadsheet and then import the CSV file and you've got it done.
Look who isn't driving anymore.
Hey, Leah.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to bring my camera in. My camera turned off. Oh, yeah, I'm not driving anymore.
He's just falling asleep.
Yeah, no, it's been since I last saw you, I haven't had many hours sleep.
Yeah, he was on my show at 3 a.m, for God's sakes. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had you were asking about features that I'd like. And I know this may be, and this is one that goes back to the dawn of time, I think. I just would like the ability to assign people to be presenters, not co-hosts. It's enough now. It's been long enough that there hasn't been that ability just to say, these people are presenters. That means that when I hit the mute all, they don't get muted.
You know what their answer to that is? Their answer to that is webinars.
Yeah, but that's not... I have many discussions. Yeah, but I have many times when I go, these people are the senior top table in this meeting. They have to have the ability to answer at any single time. And they shouldn't be muted. Or, and I should be able to control those people. But I don't want to give them co-host, because the minute I give them co-host, they start playing with things that they're not supposed to touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a solution for you, Leo.
Go on, Robert.
Use WebEx.
Oh, Robert. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I'm very serious. That's what I do when I can't get around that issue. I use WebEx because it does have that granular.
I know it's what I've found. What I think is, what's with all products, and we can look at every single product over the time. They have replaced certain parts, and things get reinvented and things get changed, and we were talking earlier about the what's it called, original sound, etc., etc. And they you could argue that they're almost to the point where you don't need original sound because there's so many options which make it worth having. But I just think this is one area that isn't quite as good. And I don't know, it's never quite, it's still the same old.
I agree with you totally, Leo. I was just joking with the WebEx, but it is
That's
a
right.
pain.
It's
And
okay.
I totally, I'm on with you. I'm 100%. The
It's
ability to give certain people certain rights in Zoom has always been a painful request.
it's just not.
So Leo, what rights would you give them that are between co-host and participants? They can turn on their own sound. Is that the main one?
Yeah, effectively, you want to be able to mute and unmute themselves.
So you
without
can go and you can do that for them. You can turn on their sound.
No, I can't. I can,
host
yes. Yeah,
can.
you're right. I can.
And then as long as they're
I
not
can.
making noise.
But so I run a meeting that happens every month and a half where there's 200 plus participants in there. So there is a president of the meeting and there are vice presidents, and they have the ability to be able to answer questions, and then the general people have to raise their hand to ask a question. So the general people we mute and unmute them, that's fine. But to enable those presidents, etc., the vice presidents to be able to control themselves, they have to be a co-host.
But why do they have to control themselves? Why can't you just have one of your team in there unmuting them?
Because you don't know that they're the one to talk.
Can't you tell them just to be quiet until they have something to say? Leave their microphone on and, what the heck?
Someone mute Lois.
Okay, I'll mute myself again.
But you can see the point. You can see the point. No, I can't, Lois. They can't. It doesn't. You wouldn't. If you think about it in the typical way of it works in that sort of political meeting, the people at the sitting at the top table have a right to be able to answer back, because that's their privilege. And it's just trying to enable that. But I know.
You can take it even forward and say with these conferencing systems where people are sitting around, you can set them up so that only 2 mics are active and 3 mics are active or whatever. But we're not even asking for that. We're just asking for
I think there's just it's an all or nothing at the moment, really. There's three tiers, and it also is quite frustrating to have the ability as the single and only host can then make co-hosts, which means that when we're setting these meetings up, there's only one person that can control who has the ability to be a co-host, to be able to go from there. And then it's taking that level. It's just to try and work it out. Peter.
No, I was agreeing with your comment, because when I do my meetings for the Boy Scouts, I have the exact same problem you were describing.
Okay, we were told.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Hey, I would really like to have something in between host or co-host and attendee, something like in a meeting, and also the ability to assign co-hosts and let them have ability to assign co-host.
But because the problem was, the minute they have co-host, they can take hands down, they can take hands up, they can mute everybody, they can do too much that you don't want them to do. I mean, it's almost, it's this sort of like allowing the band to control the audio, and anybody who has a band where there's a bass, that you never allow the bass player to ever get near any control.
Yes.
That's it. Nobody else can hear anything. And they do it. They do it all the time. And I'm like, got these senior people, I'm saying, please stop pressing the mute for other people, or unmuting or lowering their hands, because it's not your job. Your job is to answer the questions, not to manage the meeting. Our job is to manage the meeting. And it's like, it's hard.
I have a suggestion, a workaround. Absolutely. And I hate these work when people give me these proposals. I know that I'm putting the spot here. But if you were to get one of those 6-piece Stream Decks and just put the mute button on the Stream Deck and give it to them and say, this is how you mute and unmute.
Yeah, I know. It's just just a funny, I don't know. Anyway, it's just, look, the problem, what I'm saying, we are trying to work out a way to fix a problem which shouldn't need to be fixing.
Agreed.
It should have been by now. By now we have enough time to say, okay, guys, let's just add in a couple of levels that helps us. I want to do something. I know it's not the right place, and I'm going to just ask David to allow me 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Am I allowed 2 minutes?
Okay.
So I do something I do in my world. I do a lot of cycling, and there's a guy that that sends every Friday. He sends an email. Sorry, a video. And he sends a video about what's happening, and he also wishes people good wishes over the weekend, I'm going to say. And in his weekend, he reaches out and rants about things or not, or just tries to make people communicate better. And the one last week, he said he wanted a pin badge for his hat, and he reached out to a charity in the UK called children's charity, and said, I want to buy a badge for this. And he bought the badge, and then a woman rang him up and said, would like to try and sign you up for a $10 a month thing, and he agreed to do $5. And at the end of the call, he said, "Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for ringing me, and it's really nice." She burst into tears. The woman at the other end burst into tears. She said, "I ring up people all day long asking for charity things, and people are so horrible to me. They shout and scream at me, etc., etc. And you're the first person who has said thank you." And she said, and he ended it just last Friday, to say that, people have just got to be nicer to people. This woman is doing her hardest. It's a children's charity, and they are horrible to her. And he said, "Could people please be nice?" So I get this message last Friday. And then last Sunday, I get a text to say that he had a heart attack on Friday night, and he passed away. And today, after the show this morning, I went to his funeral, and it was the biggest turnout I had been to. There were over 500 people at this funeral, and everybody said the same. And it's like, it really, really isn't hard to say thank you to people. It really, really isn't hard to say when someone does something for you to say thank you, or just to just be nice. And that was all he was saying. And you just really, and the people in the room, and he was there, and he said, and the rabbi who took the service today just said that he used to sit there, and this guy Wayne, and he would, like, if there was something that the rabbi said that was great, he would wave at him and blow him a kiss. That was his way of saying, "I like what you've done," and he said he's going to miss that. People saying thank you, just there. And I know this is the wrong place, I know, but I needed to share that with somebody, and you are the ones.
It's always important to say thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's the bit that people lose. And I thought the conversation, if any of you haven't watched the conversation last night that David ran was amazing.
It was fun.
And I think it was good. And I don't know if she's still on here, but she's not. The input that Lois puts into these things is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yep. So, yeah, always has been.
Thank you.
So there you go. I need to say a few things. Thank you. Anyway,
So
we're here to help people.
All going to run over to Zoom.
Yeah, we've got to go over to the other one.
I was just going to say, I'm going to actually officially
close
off early so that we can all go learn about Zoom graphics. So I will see you all over there. And thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Do you have a link for that? Did you put it in the chat and I missed it?
It's officehours.global/ hold on. officehours.global/Zoom lab.
So that must be an after hours then.
It is in a separate after hours.
Oh, okay. I'll go check it out. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.